Yesterday, Federal Finance Minister François-Philippe presented his federal fiscal update. In it, he and Prime Minister Carney talked a lot about affordability. And you should know that there are a few areas where it's fair to acknowledge some modest progress. There has been some moderation in rent and a slight easing in home prices. And while it's only temporary, there will be some relief on housing taxes. But it's a start. Despite that bit of progress, we must be honest, though, about the broader picture. Prime Minister Carney is now running very large deficits, far larger than even in the Trudeau era. There are new spending commitments layered on top of an already bloated federal budget. The projections for the future don't look promising either. Canadians are paying more and more just to service that debt. That is costing you more money, and it's more money that isn't going towards healthcare or housing or tax relief. But here is an even larger problem. When you look at the government's own projections, economic growth is expected to slow, while those same inflationary pressures that make your everyday life more expensive will remain. All this while Canadians are living with the highest household debt levels and some of the least affordable housing in the G7, and productivity challenges that have still not been resolved. The scale of the challenge Canada faces is much bigger than incremental adjustments to programs and continuing to borrow at unsustainable rates. More spending and more borrowing is not closing the gap between Prime Minister Carney's promises to you and the reality you live every day. It's widening it. Conservatives know there is a different approach, an approach that focuses on bringing costs down by reducing the burden of government process, fees, and taxes, while opening up new markets for the vast resources Canada has to offer and that the world wants. A path that restores fiscal discipline so government borrowing and spending are not driving up the inflation that makes your groceries more expensive. Canadians need more than promises. They need results. Results that will bring down prices while ensuring your work and your paycheck reward you, not the government and their bankers. Our Conservative team will work to restore an economy where your ability to pay the bills, your ability to get ahead is not orchestrated by some government program. Conservatives believe in you, and we will work relentlessly to restore an economy where success is earned, not assigned. An economy where hard work, risk-taking, and innovation are rewarded, not crowded out by government picking winners and losers through bloated programs and bureaucracy. Where the person who builds the business, takes the chance, or puts in the extra hours sees the benefit, not a system that diverts more and more of that effort back to government. Because you know that real growth doesn't come from Prime Minister Carney borrowing against your children and grandchildren's future. It comes from Canadians like you creating it.